My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here. Today is June 1st, 2023. It is 11:59, sort of midday, I would say, almost 12 p.m. midday. All right, so I already did 2 recordings in the middle of the night. So I was searching for something and I stumbled on Harry thing, and I was like, oh my god, his court thing, is it today? So I started searching and then I stumbled on a couple things. So this is one of the videos that I did this morning, which is already up. This is that one, and one I just finished. It's rendering. I didn't upload it to YouTube yet, but let's get this going. So I was gonna go over this on my own, and I was like, hey, it's quiet, I'm in the house by myself, let me just record it while I go over it. So I have about 2, 4, 6 tweets to share with you, and that's regarding with the Department of Homeland Security, with Harry's visas and all of that. So I stumbled upon a couple of tweets and I said, let me share them with you. Plus I need to know more about it. Okay, I brush it very vaguely because there's no point of the department or the government getting involved, but it seems like these people are trying to make something out of nothing. So let's see what's going on. Okay, the UK Deputy Minister Oliver Dowden gave a speech in New York at the Heritage Foundation last year in February. Months later, the foundation is overly concerned about Prince Harry's visa. We need to vote. That next election that's coming, we need to vote. These people are spreading their BS here. My goodness, it's that lawsuit that's going on in UK, and they're trying to prevent Harry. I don't know what they're gonna do to him when he's over there. I mean, there was some stuff that I said a long time ago. It seems like they're freaking coming true, where I'm even if something happened to him in the UK, they have possession of his body, and then they could always prevent Meghan from coming in. I've said some of this stuff. It seems like this is what they're aiming for. I do not know. Okay, but I said some things like that. Okay, and let's not forget as well the deal that the paper had with the brother, and the brother had promised the papers, I guess, some sort of a promise, which I do not know, because he took their money, maybe to prevent Harry from doing what Harry's doing. But Harry is his own man. He's doing what he's doing. So the brother, I don't know. Just look at my over. It has been done before. That's all I'm saying. Okay, Byline Times, Rump Trumpocracy, the Conservative Party at the Heritage Foundation, Sian Norris, February 14, 2022. So which was last year. Okay, Oliver Dowden is the latest Conservative MP to address the Heritage Foundation, an organization accused of tampering with democracy and undermining women's rights. Yep, they're using that. And I remember I said something in one of my videos where I said the UK never left the US. Okay? And some people in the comment section start lecturing me about history, about things, the 1776 and all of this stuff, but you see things that happening, you see them. It doesn't have to be on paper for them to recognize what they are doing. These are the things that I'm seeing. Okay, they're not gonna tell you I'm still here. They're gonna do that thing under the radar, and it's up to you to see what you see. My goodness. All right, so that's that here. The Heritage Foundation, which has many Tory friends, it's pretty much them. It's pretty much them. It's just that they're using the system to pretend it's not them. Okay? Are ultimately trying to get Prince Harry Okay, the Heritage Foundation, which has many Tory friends, are ultimately trying to get Prince Harry's U.S. visa cancelled. The U.S. government response is, in short, it argues that their case is, in legal language, pile of shit, kind of. I'll go into that. All right, but let's, okay, good. There's not that many comment here. Charles asking the UK government to get his son back by any means. Could be. Just remember what he did to Harry. Pull off his security. So according to Charles, everything that happened, it's like Harry doesn't belong. Okay, Harry doesn't exist anymore. Let's see here. All road leads to the UK. Tories, monarchy, government, cartel, mafia to the bone, criminals. Okay, they're being abusive. Hope Harry has a fortitude to withstand this. Harry knows what he's talking about. Remember what he said? The media is a powerful force.
When I lost my mum 23 years ago, you took me under your wing. You looked out for me for so long, but the media is a powerful force.
He knew what he was talking about. Okay, the only difference that he has that his mom did not have is the squad and tons of prayers that we keep on sending toward his family meaning the one that he created with Meghan, Archie, Lily, Miss Dory, and all of them. Okay, the prayers we keep on sending out toward his family, this is what really doing the miracle. All right, so I read this. Now let's go into that. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, the Heritage Foundation, which has been, okay, I read this. Okay, sorry, what was his crime to be treated in this manner? All right, let's see. The Department of Homeland Security said that the UK right-wing table and the Sunday Telegraph are not considered to be mainstream media in the US. That's the laugh. Let's read this. Okay, additionally, to demonstrate media interest, plaintiffs rely on articles from niche publications such as the Daily Mail. Oh God, the people that they the group that Harry is suing, the Sunday Times, Telegraph Express, Online, and Cannabis News Today, many of which are based in the United Kingdom. Okay, this is some sort of a section. None of these publications are what Americans generally consider to be mainstream media. Elisa Scherer et al. Broad argument in U.S. even among partisans and which news outlet are part of. Alright, so looks like I might have to go into this thing here. Okay, for all we know, he may have a green card. You never know. Okay, but why do they want him back so bad? Did they forget they are the one that chased him out of his own country? What's the end goal here? Okay, they need to speak to Piers Morgan because Piers Morgan was the one who told his wife to go back to America.
Piers, if you want to be private, go back to America and live privately. It's pretty straightforward.
So he followed too. All right, I spoke about how family unity, stay together and all of that. All right, so there's that is being played here. Okay, we don't want him and her back. Okay, because they believe they gave birth to him. They want the humiliation, Harry and Meghan, more than anything else. Okay. All right, there's this again. Okay, target harassment. I'm telling you, these are all the group that he's suing, who had their bodies every corners, every basis. They're doing their part to help. Is one of those, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Like I said, what they did in New York was a huge mistake. So if the FBI get involved, okay, they are a laughing stock in the US. Yep, they have no reason to know a third party's private info without their consent. I spoke about this already. I think this is what's live right now. I took it out of one of my videos and put it separately. This one. Okay, let's go back. Yep, they have no reason to know a third party's private info without their consent. Have they even asked for the info of many other Brits who have done drugs in the past who are still in the US? Or is it only just Harry? If so, why only him? Okay, why him alone? Alright, let's read this. Okay, on March 9, 2023, CBP denied plaintiff request because plaintiff did not, I can't see this, the thing that's recording my screen is there. Written authorization from the Duke of Sussex indicating that the Duke of Sussex consented to this information being released to plaintiff. Example 1, Suzuki, there, March 15, 2023, plaintiff administratively appeals CBP's denial, but their appeal did not address the issue of expedite process. On April 5th, 2023, plaintiff submit an additional letter to CBP to supplement the record in support of my request for expedite process for my FOIA request appeal. There's some other thing. Issue on administration decision denying plaintiff appeal. The biometric identity office has not yet issued a determination on the request. Okay, so okay, let's the comment between here. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of the Cara de Viv, reveal drug use, self-harm. They're putting, I guess the squad who's putting what is it, samples of other people who have done drugs who've been in the US. Why only Harry? Okay, I'll never do drugs again. After there's this here, Russell Brand on how he pulled his life together after heroin addiction. What is it? The day drug wiped me out. I should have died a long time ago. The terrifying drinking drugs abuse. He's discussing racism and the appalling loss of his son. The legendary guitarist Eric Clapton bears his soul in a remarkable new documentary. So these are all the Brits who've been in the US who have done drugs. All right, so there they are here. Whatever, him, he used to be on MTV. He has a YouTube channel. I don't know, I haven't watched him lately, but when I first came across his YouTube channel, I was shocked to see he was talking somewhat common sense. But the I would say a couple months ago I watched one of his things. It seems like it's going back again, so forget that. All right, let's go back. Let's focus on the heritage thing here. Okay, what was that? There's this one rule for the rich and well connected, and one rule for the rest of us when it comes to visa. Nice. I did look into that when I was doing one of those videos, because when you have a lot of money, there's more option. Because for instance, if you're doing business, if you're doing different things, which Harry is doing, he's doing a lot of charities, he's running Archwell with his wife and all of that. So there's a lot of other option that is available to them, because not only they have money, but they have business and things like that. Okay, the UK is fast becoming a despotic state. Well, let's just say it's been like this. It's just now the facade is revealing, or the curtain, that's it, the curtain is revealing. Okay, this or racism and harassment of Harry and Meghan because Harry married a black woman. In one video, what did I call it? Okay, terrorists. They are fully showing a form of terrorism. Okay, they love to call other people this name. I've called it in one of my videos on PYTE. There's the chasing. Who does that? What were they trying to get out of the chasing? Going in front of their house after they pull their security and all of that. So you tell me, okay? You tell me what kind of thing. And Meghan literally told you guys she is afraid. You're scaring her.
You are making people want to kill me. It's not just a tabloid. It's not just some story. You are making me scared. Right? And like that night, to be up and down in the middle of the night, looking down my hallway, like, are we safe? Are the doors locked? Is security on? Is everything? That's real. Are my babies safe? And you've created it for what? Because you're bored, or because it sells your papers? Or it makes you feel better about your own life? It's real what you're doing. And that's the piece I don't think people fully understand.
Okay, go look in the docu-series on Netflix. She literally told you guys that. So, I don't know. Niall Gardner is strangely quiet about this. So there's this one. If these are true, this is the thing. The squad needs to bring this thing out, because they like to point fingers, but they forgot what they're doing themselves. Okay, there's this here. If these are true, then the Heritage Foundation must look into it and ensure equal attention is given to it, just like they're doing about Harry. Let's read this one. Okay, Meadow Clinic, whatever. In 1999, Tom Parker Bowles, the Duchess of Cornwall's son, and another Charles' godchildren, was caught offering to supply cocaine to an undercover reporter while working for a company at the Cannes Film Festival. Okay, so this is even more revealing than the article that I share. Although 8 years William Sr., Courtier feared he was an unhealthy influence over then young prince. Now, we have Harry, who was supplying him those drugs. And this is what they're going after. Because Harry had admitted in his book that he did that. And they used that, they're running with it. But there's this one here who was selling. People need to ask, who was giving Harry drugs? Okay? Although 8 years William Sr., Courtier's fear he was an unhealthy influence over the then young prince. While still an undergraduate at Oxford, where he had been a leading light in the notoriously degenerate club, the Assassins, and was a member of the equally wild Piers Gaveston Society, he had been cautioned for possession of cannabis and ecstasy. Okay? Oh my goodness. My God. Humiliated by the publicity, Parker Bowles, an engaging and intelligent young man, apologized to his parents and to his godfather. Crucially, he assured Charles that he had never taken any drug in front of William. Whatever. The Fuhrer turned his life around. Meanwhile, the following year, Queen's 22-year-old cousin, Lord Frederick Windsor, was photographed spread-eagled on the floor of London Club after attending a film premiere. He admitted taking cocaine. My goodness, this is even worse. Taking cocaine too. They call somebody's name here. Okay, so there he is here. Camilla's son, Tom Parker Bowles, becoming motivational speaker in America. Oh, fuck. What can he motivate people of? Okay, Tom Parker Bowles, the son of the Duchess of Cornwall, signed with the American Talent Group, which promote his royal links. Tom Parker Bowles has always been happy to acknowledge that his success as a food writer is not unconnected to his surname. His latest venture may, however, raise eyebrow. He has signed up with the American Talent Group to become a motivational speaker. Agency which named Mitt Romney and Donald Trump, these among its highly paid speakers, makes I can't see this. Makes no bones about what Parker Bowles can offer. So they're saying if they're looking into Harry, they better look into that one too. Okay, thank you for the translation. There's that. There's the laugh. So many in the media kept saying Prince Harry was irrelevant. For someone who is so irrelevant, those in the UK seem to be going through extreme length to get Harry back in the UK. Heritage Foundation and Tory friends got the response they deserve. Okay, who knows Harry has already a green card. Thank you. Good. Now, Gardner. We have to abolish the monarchy and conservative party. Make great tabloid headlines though. Whatever. But then on the Tories. There's this. Murdoch has friends in many places. Bingo. That's it. He has friends in many places. Like I said, bases. They all have bases. Okay, who is paying for this nonsense? This is for you to UK, because these people, I'm sure they will ask. They're not gonna do all of this for nothing. Why is it? Ouch. Is that the same thing that I just read? Additionally, to demonstrate media interest, plaintiff rely on articles from niche. Okay, so that's the same thing that I read. Let's go to this article. Looks like this is taking longer than I expected. I said I was. Is it that one? Where is it? It was this one. I'll leave the link in the description. Oh. No, there's nothing. Oh, there it is. How many pages? Important memorandum. Okay, maybe I'll come back to this. What I'll do. What is that? Okay, document file 526. The Department Privacy Office. I skip a lot. I'm in page 10 here. The Department of Privacy Office reviewed the request and determined the department component, CBP, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Service, and the Office of Biometric Identity Management, okay, were the components most likely to have responsive records, and that the department's headquarters did not have any responsive record. Okay, the Privacy Office then forwarded the request to, okay, to all of this, and the Biometric Identity Office and notified plaintiff of the referral. On March 9, 2023, CBP denied plaintiff request because plaintiff did not provide written authorization from the Duke of Sussex indicating that the Duke of Sussex consented to his information being released to plaintiff. Okay? Even me, I'm not a freaking lawyer. I was doing one of the tweets, and then when I'm editing the thing, I look it up. There's no way. And then Harry's wife had just sued the tabloid in the UK for that privacy. So what did they expect here? Okay, on March 15, 2023, plaintiff administratively appealed CBC denial, but their appeal did not address the issue of expedite process. On April 5, 2023, plaintiff submitted an additional letter to CBP to supplement the record and support of any request for expedite processing for my FOIA on May 23, 2023, CBP issued an administrative decision denying plaintiff appeal. The Biometric Identity Office has not yet issued a determination on the request. Plaintiff, it's like they want the judge to do something illegal. Harry is the main provider of to tell people what he has, and obviously Harry do not want to give his information. Okay, and what they gonna do about it? What if they know? So what? Okay, plaintiff served defendant with this lawsuit on May 2nd, 2023, and as required under FOIA, there's a section here, defendant let deadline to answer the complaint is 30 days from the date of service on May 31st, 2023. Argument, oh my god, I'm not gonna read all of it. How many? There's about 25 pages. And where am I now? I'm on page 11. Okay, preliminary injunction are generally not appropriate in FOIA cases. Okay, courts generally do not award extraordinary remedy of preliminary injunction relief in FOIA cases. See Heritage Fund, there's that. Courts in our district have generally found irreparable harm to FOIA preliminary injunction cases only where the request document are time sensitive and highly probative, or even essential to the integrity of an imminent event, after which event is utility of the record would be lessened or lost. Collecting authorities, first OAIA establishes its own specialized procedural framework controlling the processing. So in other words, they want this to be done fast. So okay, I think I'm getting it, because when is Harry supposed to give his testimony? So they're processing this and as fast as they could before Harry goes back to the UK to do his whatever, to talk in court. They're preventing him to go to court in the UK to tell his part. That's what I see here. I mean, it's not saying it, but that's my interpretation of it. Okay, and my humble opinion. All right, and all the chase that happened in New York, all of this. All right, there's this. Court should not casually sidestep this statutory framework by granting emergency preliminary relief, which is reserved only for extraordinary circumstances posing imminent and irreparable harm. In other words, why are they rushing the court to do this? That's what I'm saying here. Okay, there's no hurry for this. Why are you pushing for this to go so quickly, even though they're not allowed to give you the information that you requested? Okay, again, this is my interpretation of it. You could have your own conclusion on that. Second, the traditional purpose of a preliminary injunction is to preserve the status quo so that the court can issue a meaningful decision on the merit. Okay, Campbell versus Kempthorne. There's another case here. Therefore, when, as here, a movement seek mandatory injunction relief, i.e., an injunction that quote will alter rather than preserve the status quo by commending some positive acts, the moving party must meet a higher standard than in the ordinary case by showing clearly that he or she is entitled to relief, or that extreme or very serious damage will result from the denial of the injunction. Okay, so there's another thing here. It continue. Okay, a district court should not issue a mandatory preliminary injunction unless the fact and law clearly favor the moving party. Like we've been saying, Heavy haven't done anything. So what is the rush? Why do they want to know Heavy's personal information? What's going on? Okay, these are people. This is what happened when you give these people too much of your tax money, and they're trying to get when laws are passing in the U.S. as well to favor them, so they have bucket full of money or room full of money, so they could do these kind of things. This nonsense. Okay, as such, plaintiff request here is mandatory in nature, and thus plaintiff must overcome an even higher hurdle for the extraordinary relief they seek and their motive. That is National Council of Agriculture. I think that's what it means. There's some section here. Denying preliminary injunction, noting mandatory injunction that will change the status quo or disfavored as an even more extraordinary remedy than the typical preliminary injunction, especially when directed at the United States government. Clean up. Third, because preliminary injunction relief is not intended to provide plaintiff with a means to bypass the litigation process and achieve rapid victory. That's what they want. They want the court to do it really quickly. Oh my goodness. A preliminary injunction should not work to give a party essentially the full relief he seeks on the merit. They don't even show how grave or important this whatever it is that they're filing, and they're asking the court to do it so quickly, and the court is saying we need to take time to evaluate what's going on. You don't even give them any foundation for all of this. Again, my interpretation of it. Okay, here plaintiff expressly demands such relief at the outset of this litigation, a preliminary injunction requiring the department to process their FOIA request on an expedite basis. Okay, there's some section here. Motion is a thinly veiled tactic to circumvent the standard, and already expedite litigation process for determining the merit of an expedition claim. Yeah, they want the court to rush it. Again, I need to know when Heavy's gonna appear in court in the UK. So they must have a plan. Okay, if certain thing happens, so they could do the next step and make sure he doesn't come back to the US. Oh my God! Against this background, court and this jurisdiction routinely deny requests for preliminary injunction. Okay, so pretty much they're denying it. All right, there's all sort of things. I'm gonna put this in my how do you call this, community board. All right, let's see what's there. I skip a lot. Okay, plaintiff have not shown a likelihood of success on the merit. Okay, they're not even giving any concrete evidence to show the judge why what they're asking they should have it. Okay, plaintiff also are unlikely to succeed on the merit of their claim for expedition. As an initial matter, CBP has already denied plaintiff or FOIA request on the merit. Example, Suzuki, there's this. When an agency deny a FOIA request, expedite process is no longer needed, then issue become moot. Thus, plaintiff expedited processing request is moot to the extent that it is seek expedite processing from CBP. Additionally, plaintiff expedited claim fails on the merit. Plaintiff claim they are entitled to expedite process on it's, you know what I'm getting here? It's almost like when Andrew was having issues with New York, challenging the Constitution of New York, like whatever the wording that they, oh my goodness. Anyway, where was I? Which required the department component to grant expedite processing when the component determined that the request involved a matter of widespread and exceptional media interest. Oh, that's the point. In which there exists possible question about the government integrity, which affect public confidence. All right. So you're not gonna tell the court to do some unethical things. My goodness, but plaintiff failed to demonstrate that their request meet the standard. Okay, they have nothing, no ground to even bring this up. Because plaintiff underlying FOIA request to CBP was denied, their request for expedite processing from CBP is moot. When an individual requests expedited processing of a FOIA request, the only relief required is moving an individual's request to the front of the agency processing queue. Yep, they're rushing things because there's so many other, I guess, other application in front of them, so they're trying to move this really quick. Oh my God. In other words, whether I skip some stuff here, in other words, whether a requester is entitled to expedited processing is a separate issue from whether the agency fully fulfilled the FOIA request, because CBP determined that plaintiff FOIA request could not be processed without a privacy waiver. That's the key here. Harry never released it. Okay, Harry never told the court you could release my information, so the court have nothing to say on that. It's not up to the court. All right, you asking the court to violate Harry's right. If the court does that, Harry could sue the court because he didn't give permission for them to give his information. Okay, request for expedite processing from CBP is moot. Okay, plaintiff submitted their request. Okay, that's page what, 14? Oh, no, page 19. Okay, request for expedite processing from CBP is moot. Plaintiff submitted their request to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Okay, CPI request. When the department received the request, it determined that USCIS CBP, the biometric identity office, were the department component most likely to maintain responsive record, and that the department headquarters did not have any responsive record. Okay, that is to department responsive letter, PI, there's some section, I don't know, referral letter. The department then informed plaintiff that it had forwarded the request to the component. Okay, I guess different department were contacting each other. This is what I'm getting. I could be completely wrong. To see if they have any note from Harry. Did Harry allow any department to release his information? This kind of thing. So they were looking for that. Okay, that's what I get from this. I could be wrong, but if you are an attorney or whatever, you understand those languages, feel free to comment on the section, and you guys should always read some of the comments. Usually some squaddies, have some knowledge on those stuff. Okay, plaintiffs are seeking record regarding Prince Harry, a private third party, there it is, PI, private individual, I think, P1, requests, and their request did not include a privacy waiver. There's the thing here. Harry did not tell them you could release my information. 1. Suzuki, they give the example here, request for information regarding a third party. The information will not be disclosed without that person prior written consent that provide the same verification information that the person would have been required to submit for information about him or herself. Okay, Harry never gave that. Okay, because plaintiff did not submit a privacy waiver. Okay, privacy waiver. That's the thing here. This is what the Daily Fail did not have, a privacy waiver. This is why Megan was able to sue them, and she won. Okay, releasing her private information. I guess these people haven't learned a damn thing. CBP denies their request. Example 1, Suzuki. Okay, there's this. CBP decision to deny the request without a privacy waiver is consistent with FOIA. So in other words, each of these departments are doing the right thing because they do not have a waiver from Harry to release their information. Okay, in a case like this, where a request by its term specifically calls for law enforcement record related to a third party, all of the responsive record will fall within the scope of the categorical exemption unless it can be shown that the invasion of privacy, there it is again, is warranted. Okay, in other words, Harry is a third party. He hasn't done anything wrong for them to go and violate his right. Harry is a lawful citizen. He hasn't done anything. And when you look at this as well, okay, the chase that was happening, if for instance, well, Harry was not the driver. If, for instance, there was an accident that happened, remember how they were denying him, the chase did not happen and all of that, and then when eyewitnesses were saying what was happening, and then when Harry was trying not to go to the location where he was at, so he doesn't show the people where he was staying, what did he do? This is very smart. Twice he did that, and that night he went to a police station. Just sat there. At least there was law enforcement who was keeping an eye on him. Okay, keep that in mind. I have some videos I put out after. Go look around the time where the chase was happening. Okay, I have several videos on that. Okay, and I think there's one videos where I took out all of the clips that explain what truly happened, not the tabloid, but what truly happened. I think at that time when I was doing the what's that, TMZ one was not working, but eventually I did it by itself. I have it. Okay, just go check around that time. I have some videos that explain what happened during the chase. So, like, to get back to that, if something had happened during the chase, they could have used that. Okay, oh, there was something that happened, he was part of it, he was this, he was that, so therefore you must release his information. So they will go into his information and, you know, like his emergency, he did something wrong, even though they will not do that so quickly, but they will try to do something as an excuse. Okay, let's see here. Okay, where was I? All of the responsive records will fall within the scope of categorical exemption unless it can be shown that the invasion of privacy is warranted. Okay, so there was no warranted way for them to go and invade his privacy. Okay, he didn't do anything wrong, he didn't disobey the law, he didn't do anything wrong for them to send law enforcement to get those information, something like that. That's what I'm getting. Okay, let's see here. Permitting defendant to categorically deny a request for record regarding a third party because requester has not specifically the public interest. Okay, justification for the disclosure he requests, and the government need not guess what the requester had in mind. Okay, approving agency's policy categorically denying such requests in absence of death certificate, privacy waiver, or showing a public interest that will be advanced. Okay, even if plaintiff had a valid argument, that's the thing, they don't have any, had a valid argument that CBP decision to deny their request was incorrect as a matter of law, their argument could not revive their claim for expedite processing, and declining to process plaintiff request, the component provided a complete response, which is a final administrative determination whether to release any record that are responsive to the individual requests. Okay, there's a section here. Once an agency provide a complete response, District Court of the United States shall not have jurisdiction to review an agency denial of expedite processing of a request for record. Okay, once the agency provide a complete response, so the court is saying here, I think that's the court, right? The court is saying that now that the agency have reviewed everything and deny you things, and they did what they need to do under the law, don't bring it to us, okay, to undermine what the agency have said. That's what I'm getting from this. Okay, in other words, don't bring this bullshit to me for me to annul what the agency have said. So in other words, the agency did what he was supposed to do. Don't release it, and don't come to us to overwrite what the agency had already told you. That's the way I'm getting this. Okay, the agency need not obtain a judicial declaration that is such effort were adequate or that its withhold determination were wanted. Okay, there's this contest CBP decision to deny the request, but the timing of any production of responsive record now occur at the direction of the court pursuant to a scheduling order, not the expedited process provision of the FOIA because CBP completed its response to plaintiff. So in other words, whatever they had told them from the agency, it's good enough for the judge, whoever is writing this. Okay, request there is nothing left for CBP to expedite. Yep. Oh my God, there's more. It's pretty much telling them no, they can't do anything about it. I'm gonna put this: the public interest and balance of equity weigh against the preliminary injunction. Okay, so they were saying that it was public interest, this kind of thing. They're using the same wording in the UK as here. Oh my goodness, Harry's a private citizen. Okay. See, the public interest and balance of equities weigh against a preliminary injunction. Along with alleged harm to the plaintiff, the court must consider whether a preliminary injunction of the sort demanded by plaintiff will be in the public interest or harm non-litigants. Okay, here a preliminary injunction will not be in the public interest and will harm non-litigants. The primary effect of granting a preliminary injunction will be to disadvantage other FOIA requests who will be pushed further back. In other words, all the applicants, okay, who's trying to get the things be looked at, either the judge or whatever. So this will be something that will be against those people who's waiting patiently for the court to hear their plea. And these people want to jump the line. That's what I'm seeing here. Another thing that I'm getting here with this section, the judge is throwing a shade here. So those people, the foundation is saying this is in best interest for the public, but the judge turned it around and said what will be annoying to the public is the fact that you're jumping the line. Okay, but what the plaintiff is saying is that, let's say me, you, we are interested into finding what status Harry has, this kind of thing. But the judge is saying, no, what will be interest to the public is the fact that you're jumping the line and you want your case to be heard when there's other people waiting to for theirs to be heard patiently. Okay, so the judge turned it completely 360, which is true as well. Okay, all the other people who filed their papers are waiting, and then these guys just want to jump on the front line to get their papers to be heard. All right. Okay. Requests who will be pushed further back in the department or FOIA processing queue. FOIA was intended to be available to all members of the public, not just those who are professional FOIA requester or who have the resources to file a complaint in district court and move for preliminary injunction relief. In other words, get back on the line. I'm surprised. They're lucky the judge even listened to it. So they're jumping the line and they're telling the judge to dismiss what the other department have already told them. Okay, this is the thing I'm seeing here. Okay, it is unfair, particularly on this record, for plaintiff to jump ahead of other requesters who filed before plaintiff and who are waiting. There's the thing, I didn't even finish reading. Okay, they were waiting patiently and this one wants to jump the line. Okay, in line for the request to be processed. See notion, there's this here. Let's see here, that's some section. Okay, requests over other pending requests will severely jeopardize the public's interest in an orderly, fair, and efficient administration. That's it of the FOIA. So in other words, don't jump the line. Okay, this thing is open to everybody, not just because you are whatever or professional. What did he say here? There it is. I can't believe I spotted. You are a professional FOIA requester. Just because you are that doesn't mean you should jump the ship, because the thing is open to everybody. Anybody could file it. Okay, so you go back on the line. That's all it's saying here. Plaintiff point to no fact that will counterbalance this harm. Plaintiff argued that the public interest is best served by the expedite release of the request documents because it further FOIA core purpose of shedding light on an agency performance of its statutory duties. Nah, they just want to know what he has so they could use it against him. Okay, and then to have him thrown out of the country and keep him over there. They think, okay, they short-sighted, but they don't think there's many other countries out there. Okay, so Harry doesn't appear in court. All right, that's what I think. All right, rejecting plaintiff argument that the public interest element weighing in their favor, where it was based on little more than the core purpose of FOIA being to allow the public to be informed about what their government is up to. The same nonsense they be using over there in UK. Another thing that they're trying to do is that they're undermining the government. They're pretending as if the government is hiding something about Harry. That's what I'm seeing here as well while I'm editing it. Okay, and also claiming as if, yeah, the agency is doing something wrong, so they want to shed light to some of the things that the agency is doing that's illegal or something like that. It seems like I'm getting something like that, but they have no basis, they have no foundation to prove that. Okay, it's like they're trying to say squirrel, meanwhile they're trying to get what it is that they want, but the judge see right through it. But the main thing is Harry never released his request. He never waived his right for people to see his information. Plus, Harry haven't done anything for the court to step in to say, okay, this is a dangerous person, we need to go and see what he's up to, this kind of thing. So Harry is not doing anything illegal. All right, so the judge cannot bypass any of the other agencies who have denied those people the information that they're requesting. That's what I'm getting. Finally, plaintiff argument that a preliminary injunction will further FOIA purposes because plaintiffs are statutorily entitled to expedited process, open, there's this here, is unavailable, giving plaintiffs failure to demonstrate a likelihood of success on the merit, there's this here, and weighing plaintiff interest against the harm of other requester that will result from a preliminary injunction granting plaintiff motion will be contrary to the public interest and contrary to the first in, first out basis on which agency generally process FOIA requests. Accordingly, the motion should be denied. Conclusion, I mean, after all of this, there's this. The motion should be denied. Okay, for the foregoing reason, the court should deny plaintiff motion for preliminary injunction. That's it. They're done with them. May 26th. So what are they trying to do? I'm going to put this on my community board. I skip a lot. Okay, 24 pages. There's a lot. And I just skim through it and read some more important things. But at the end of the day, it's denied. All right, so let's go back to Twitter. Okay, there's that. Sorry, what was his crime to be treated in this manner? Yeah. All right, so let's go to another tweet that talks about this. All right, there's this here. The Mail openly begs border agent to refuse Prince Harry re-entry to the US. All right, I'm not gonna read that, but I'll leave the link in the description for you to check. Okay. There's this here, all because he has a black wife. Shaking my head. I mean, to some extent you might think of it that way, but I think that has to do with the lawsuit that's going on in the UK. All right, they want to make his life a miserable living hell. So what Harry needs to do is to stay focused. Remember his plan. Once he go to court, what he's gonna say, his evidence. They just want to throw him off his game. That's all. Okay, throw him off his game. If he doesn't show up, hey, better for them. It's just that Harry got them. That's it. Harry got them. They're preventing Harry from going to court and say what he knows. Okay, that's all it is. All the chase and all of this, all part of the plan. Okay, we need to keep on praying. That's all, to counteract these idiots out there. All right, the British tabloid have gone into a total harassment mode. Well, I call it right now as terrorists. Okay, I call it out in one of my videos before. It shows all the meaning they behave and act in the manner of a terrorist. Okay, go on my PYTE channel where I look up the word terrorist and I show you what some of the meaning, what those people have done to be labeled that way. because they love to call other people that name. Other groups, other minority groups, they love to call people that way. Okay, but their behavior right now, their action is showing what a terrorist behavior is like, in my humble opinion. Okay, a British American called into Jeremy Vine yesterday, and she was mad that the British won't stay out of Harry's business and that they're trying to use her government to get him deported. She said the question on the application is, quote, have you ever been convicted of a drug crime? Right, let's see here. Let's go into that. Okay, also the papers don't know what they're talking about. Visas are granted by the State Department, DHS is defense the suit and run CBP. They are not after his visa, they are after his green card application, which goes through DHS. That's something to look into. I mean, not to look into. That's a good point here. No, that's not. Okay, there's this here, the same person here. No, that's not on there. It doesn't specify drug crime, it's any crime. The question he has to be concerned about is, have you ever committed or attempted to commit a crime for which you were not arrested? Pro tip, a yes answer is not a bar. Okay, let's leave that alone. Let's see here. Did they say the same thing the last couple of times he's been here for the court case and for the condemnation, both of which were after the disclosure of his book? How about all the previous time, which were after the papers had splashed it all over their front page? Okay, I mean, I guess they need to make money. Maybe, I don't know, because the others are not providing any content for them, so they digging up things because they can't hack into phone. Oh my goodness, there's so many things going on in the UK. They can't report about that. But why, Harry? Why? There's so many people going through some stuff, shit in their water. Did they ever clean that? I haven't talked about this in a while. Have they report that? There's so many other things to talk about. Oh my goodness. And the kids who's their parents don't have money to put in their school lunches. Why can't they talk about that? Oh my goodness. My wish is for Harry to release the unpublished pages of Spare and a second book if they don't leave him alone. Spare made it difficult for British media to write hateful fan fiction versus Harry and Meghan, and the fake sycophant fan fiction to royalists and their fake regal nonsense that took away page inches too. Okay, Harry has been in the UK and back twice since his book was released. Okay, trying to prevent Prince Harry from attending court. That's it. This is that. Okay, trying to prevent Prince Harry from attending court in UK next week by saying it. You come, we will do everything to stop the United States allowing you back in. Yeah, they don't have any leverage on Harry. That makes sense. I agree with this person. That makes sense. Okay, and I love it. The media has lost its damn mind. Okay, let's read what's there and then move on. Okay, yes, Harry Harry will get special treatment. He is married to American with American children. He owns an American business. He owns an American business and charity foundation. I am absolutely convinced this British tabloid already tried to access his visa application illegally. Yeah, I'm sure they did. Especially after that lawsuit that Meghan just beat them in the UK. You think anybody will dare try to snook into the application? He comes to custody, not the border. Do better. Okay, what? I've been aboard and have never been asked a drug question. I've only been asked if I'm bringing stuff back. Okay, tell the clown Harry has dual citizenship sorted. Okay, I mean, whatever. Meghan's niece probably did what needs to be done because this is what she does. Okay, immigration lawyer. Okay, they've lost their plot. Yep, that's definitely. They don't dare. Okay, let's read what's there and then that's it. Not happening. That's the laugh. The desperation for more clicks is humorous at best. The Daily fell at it again. Okay, I openly beg the mail to close down. Okay, ex border agent here. Okay, let's read that. All right, so what did you say? Not going to happen. Okay, to get his information. They're hoping Harry will be too afraid to leave the US to go and testify. Remember how John Lennon was always afraid to leave the US for fear of not being allowed back in. That is so messed up and pathologic. All right, let's go to the next one. Oh my goodness, my 6th tweet turned out to be almost an hour now. Next tweet, my phone rang and I need to call the person back. Okay, the Heritage Foundation, which has many Tory friends, are ultimately trying to get Prince Harry's visa cancelled. The US government response is, in short, it argues that their case is, in legal language, a pile of shit, pretty much. All right, I went through that. Did I read that already? I think I did. Yeah, I did. So let's skip that one. Next tweet. I think that was my first one. Okay, so there's that here. Harry isn't broken. Okay, so I came across Pagan Trelawney thing here, and she retweeted hers out, and I wanted to see what was going on, so it started right here. Okay, H isn't broken. This is the real Harry, the vindictive, spoiled little brat that Prince William had to contend with while growing up. Prince William, on numerous occasions, had to put up with Harry's kicks, punching, slap him. There's no way. Because of his jealousy of Prince William, the competition between them, that is, and Harry's head, is the other way around. Okay, so he's pretty much describing William. Okay, I've seen plenty of vids of them as kids. Willie was obviously the violent brat, and his jealousy of Prince Harry was palpable. His resentment of his father, even worse. Good luck to Charles now that he's all he's got. Alright, look at this. Alright, so there's more. Let's leave that alone. Let's go to the next one. Okay, I'm in a hurry now. I don't want to spend too much time. Next tweet. The King and the Prime Minister may bend the knee to the British press. The US government never will. Prince Harry. Okay, you have not provided consent from the Duke of Sussex. You have not provided an overriding public interest in any potential Duke of Sussex CBP records. Therefore, CBP can neither confirm nor deny the extent of the request record. They don't tell them nothing. I probably had skipped it on the thing that I was reading. Alright, so that's that. I saw this and I thought I shared that as well. Alright, next tweet. And this is my last one. Okay, so it started here. Okay, let's pause this so I don't get flagged for it. Prince Harry said this in January. Why is the UK media and bloggers pretending like it's news? Alright, so she went to that. Insider claim Prince Harry and Meghan will stop doing tell-all interviews and series. How will they know? What? Nah, that's just BS. But let's listen here. Okay, it's 1 minute and 36 seconds. You might be seeing screenshot. Okay, but the main thing is listen. It's because of YouTube I have to do that.
Like, fine, you wanted to leave the family, start a new life. That's great. Good for you. But is there a danger that you're looking back too much? Do you think? Do you worry about that for yourself?
We always knew that these two projects, both the Netflix documentary and the book, you know, one being our story and one very much being my story, they were look-back projects, right? They were necessary, they were essential for historical fact and significance. I don't want my kids or other people at that age growing up thinking, oh, wow, this is what happened. It's like, no, that's not what happened. This is what happened.
I didn't see the ITV interview. This one was the interview he gave in the UK. But he gave several in the US. The other thing is, I remember saying, it was in the middle of the night, and I was like, it's in one of my videos. I was like, at some point, Harry and Meghan needs to write their books if they are afraid to put this out now. God forbid, in some later time, trust somebody to put it out for them. But there it is. They were doing that all along. All right, so let's continue.
Right, there are two sides to every story. So, you know, it's been a painful process, cathartic at times, but going back over old ground to be able to get these projects right has taken a lot of energy. And there's a lot of relief now that both these projects have been complete, and now we can focus on looking forward. And I'm excited about that. So no, I'm not stuck in the past, and I will never be stuck in the past. I've made peace with a lot of what's happened, but I am still, I guess, patiently waiting for accountability, not necessarily just for us, but because of the significance that I know that will have to so many other people.
If there is a process.
Damn, I was thinking of something. Another word, Harry is not holding any grudge. Okay, now I remember what I was thinking. if I was the institution, even though I really hope Harry be very cautious, never let his guard down with these people, but if I were the institution, is cut your losses now. Okay, try to make amends and try to create peace and move forward. But at the same time, remember, Harry and Meghan cannot let their guard down. Okay, and at the same time, just remember, in my humble opinion, the institution probably owe the tabloid something. Maybe there is a promise or some sort of a deal that was implemented and they cannot deliver. So therefore, this is where Harry needs to be very careful, never let his guard down and around these people. Okay, just go back to my there's a video that I have. I call it, what did I call it? It has been done before. Okay, I tried to, that was back in 2020 before any of these came out. All right, it was like clear as crystal can be. I saw it and I was like, oh my god, how I'm gonna put this out without pointing fingers. All right, but let's continue.
I mean, do you acknowledge you got things wrong?
I'm sure we got things wrong, but I've continued over the last 3-4 years to ask to tell me what we got wrong so that we can address it and apologize for those things. But every single time I've asked, I've received nothing in response.
There's Harry. Yeah. In order for it to move forward, you have to know what you did wrong so you could fix it so you don't repeat it. It's the same thing that I be saying. The institution love to bang their head on the wall over and over again, thinking they're going to get a different result. There's Harry who's saying here, I want to know what did I do wrong. Okay? Point it out to me. So next time I don't do it again. But they keep on creating excuses, some nonsense. Meghan cannot close their door, this and BS after BS, because they know the nonsense that they created is purely nonsense. Okay, thank you. I love this clip. Harry is not going to let the UK history mark Meghan as a bad person. The royal will never tell Harry what he did wrong because they know he and Meghan did nothing wrong. So it will always be silence. Okay, all the exclusives and breaking news are either taken from the couple's own word or posts on Twitter. For this new exclusive is just from what Harry said in his interview, and Meghan also said she was living in the present. Okay, so that is it. I'm gonna try to definitely put some stuff out right now. I don't know when I'm gonna edit this. I have a phone call to return, and but okay, so that's it.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life.
me, we are all in this together. Because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.